Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream here on the channel for the Black Hood Crew. I am your streamer slash chauffeur, BHCxDark. Name is always right here in the corner. You can follow along on YouTube and Facebook at the Black Hood Crew, and then follow along at my name directly on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. It is Tuesday, May 16th of 2023. I'm on my way to work, and it's a pretty clear day. Surprisingly enough, it is a pretty clear day today. It's not like over. Sorry about that. Always getting interrupted when I'm in the middle of something. So, to continue the conversation from yesterday, basically I've been continuing playing Tears of the Kingdom, and like originally, and this is in Breath of the Wild, when you take on a shrine quest or a shrine, and you got to figure out how to complete the shrine, which basically means get to the end and get the spirit orb. You go into it, and for the most part, you get a layout of the shrine, and you're like, okay, I think I know what I have to do. Doesn't take a whole lot of complicated thought process to figure it out. And for the most part, the puzzles aren't overly difficult. Some of them can be a little strenuous, but not overly difficult. This time around, nothing is obvious at all. Like you go in, and the most help you'll get is the title, and even then, it's only partially helpful. Like to actually complete the shrines this time, you got to sit down and figure things out. Obviously, you're given the necessary tools to do it. It's not like they're going to dump you in the middle of a place and not give you, the materials necessary to complete the shrine. Like right now, I'm stuck in one. The first part was pretty easy. They give you an already built car with big wheels. It's basically a slab of stone and a big wheel on each corner. And there's a pit of lava and a set of stairs on the other end. And you have a giant orb, not the little ones you can pick up, but the big ones, which if you play Breath of the Wild, you know what this thing is. You have to get it to a point where you can put it in the pit or the hole that it fits, and it'll then open a door, allow you to continue. So this time, give you the car, big orb. So and you have to get it to the other side of the pit of lava. So I'm like, okay, the wheels are big enough, it can ride through the lava, but how do I keep the orb from falling off? Oh, perfect. I'll use the Ultra Hand ability and basically glue the ball to the slab of stone so it doesn't roll away. And then as soon as I step on, you only have to hit one of the devices. If they're all connected into basically a single structure, hitting only one activates all of them in unison. So that's good news. So I hit one, wheels start turning, and basically carry me to the other side. I detach the orb and get it up the stairs. So the next part is I need to get the orb up to another level. This next level is a fair distance above, but there is a track with a movable stone. The stone is directly attached to the track, so it cannot be removed. And it can be slid all the way to the top. However, because it's on an incline, it'll slide right back down the moment you let it go. There is one more powered wheel, a thin piece of stone slab, as well as a set of, I would say, arches inclined like that. So it's a set of them, and they get taller as they move toward the end. And I'm thinking, how in God's name am I going to get this ball up to the top? Well, I figure, okay, I'll attach the ball to the sliding stone and then try and use the wheels to create forward momentum using the arches and the stone slabs to kind of like grab them and move forward. That did not work. They kept getting stuck on the first or second one. I tried it with one wheel, two wheels, thinking the extra torque would assist, and it did to a point, but then once again it would get stuck. So I'm thinking, okay, this time what I'll do is, and this happened literally, I came up with this idea literally before I needed to leave for work, but the idea is this: use the thin slab, attach 4 wheels to the end, so that it's able to track directly below the stone track above. And then what I'll do is I'll just put the wide one behind it, attach it directly to the car, hit the wheels, and hope it pushes it all the way to the end. I probably won't get to try that till tomorrow, but we'll see. So that's my idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it wouldn't hurt to try. Especially since, and I think this is more of a convenience thing, when you're not in a shrine and you use any Zonai machine, which is what they're called, Zonai machines. If you use any of them outside of the shrine, you are at the mercy of the amount of Zonai energy, essentially battery life, that you have available. You can increase this by by crafting and exchanging different items. But this is something you learn at the beginning of the game. So it's not like, this is something that you learn later on, part of a quest. Like, no. When you do this, literally on your way through the opening world, opening dungeon, you learn about this exchange and the ability to increase the amount of energy you have available when you use your Zonite devices, machines, whatever. Inside the shrines, however, they have unlimited energy. Like the bar showing how much energy you have doesn't even show up. So I think that's a good thing. It lets you do some pretty wild things inside of the shrines. Pretty neat. I've also spent a lot of time exploring caves, which are always fun to find because inside you can find unique enemies that you wouldn't see outside of the cave, like the legs I mentioned before. You can also find additional items that you would not find anywhere else. Plants, animals, materials that you can use in your adventures. You can find plenty of them inside of these caves. Like, perfect example, bomb flowers. I have yet to find a single bomb flower outside of a cave, growing anywhere outside of a cave. And even within the cave, there's maybe a handful of spots where it actually grows, and never in a bunch. It's always a singular plant, either on the ground, attached to the wall somewhere. And then from there, you just pick it, add it to your inventory. It's always good to have hammers available. And by hammers, I basically mean a rock fused to a sword or a spear. So you can swing it and smash rocks. Or break the breakable walls that you usually find inside the caves. The breakable walls usually give you access to further areas of the cave. Some of them have mineral deposits, so you can actually mine minerals like rock salt, flint, topaz, diamonds, sapphires, rubies, pretty much any kind of stone type, you can mine it. Usually, again, found in caves. Before, you used to find, and this is in Breath of the Wild, you would find these stone deposits in you wouldn't find them in anywhere. You would find them literally out, exposed to the elements. Personally, I didn't think that worked, but that was the design choice they decided to go with. This time, however, you actually have to travel underground in the form of the cave systems to mine minerals. Now, occasionally enemies out in the overworld will drop these minerals, these precious stones, these rocks. And that's good. But that is not going to be your sole source of these precious stones and minerals. You gotta go spelunking. That means cave diving. Or cave exploring. And that's not even including the whole underground world, which has its own set of items that are unique there, as well as multiple places you can find access to get down there. Like a perfect example is the first pit you find in Hyrule Field. It's kind of part of a quest, so you can kind of get the introduction to the underground and what's found down there and what isn't found down there. But it's definitely a deep, dark place filled with unique variants or a unique type of enemy, a variant of existing enemies, but with a unique twist to them. All the enemies down there have this unique twist to them. I am not going to spoil it, because again, game's only been out for 5 days. Although I've already seen that there's people that have not only beaten it, but have already beaten it in, I think it was an hour and 34 minutes and change. Now again, by all means, if you have the time, if you have the patience to want to do that, by all means. That's not me. I prefer to enjoy my games. In this particular case, it's been released that Tears of the Kingdom takes an average of about 48 hours to complete. Now, this is 48 hours straight. Like, this is continuous 48 hours to complete the game. If you are a completionist, these are people who 100% their games. That means every item, every secret, every area explored, 100% map exploration. In this particular case, the Hyrule Compendium, which is a visual representation and catalog of everything the game has to offer, every item, weapon, enemy, location, whatever is stored here. 100% completion of the game would include completely filling out this compendium. They said that if you wanted to do a full 100% completion of Tears of the Kingdom, it would take you 96 hours. Again, continuous 96 hours. And this is hoping you don't get lost. Because again, it's not just the regular overworld, the land of Hyrule that you're exploring. You also are exploring the Sky Islands, which even though they take up the entirety of the same map as Hyrule, just above the clouds, they're mostly groupings of islands with individuals floating around between. So you're not going to find just giant land masses in the sky that you will not find. More than anything, they are a series of islands that are either attached in some way, shape, or form, grid cabling, stuff of that nature, or they are close enough together where your ability to get from one to the other, even in the early game, is not hindered. Case in point, the starting area, which is Tears of the Kingdom's version of the Great Plateau. They kind of run you through basic mechanics of the game, teach you different things in case you've forgotten or you never played Breath of the Wild, while also introducing the new mechanics, the new abilities, and new techniques that you have at your disposal. This opening area is a lot like that. It's a series of islands that are either directly attached to each other, attached in some other fashion, like a bridge or something like that, and islands that are close enough together where you don't have to worry of, damn, am I going to be able to reach it from here? Usually you would either just jump across, glide across, or literally create a contraption using Zonai devices to move from one island to the next. In fact, I've been watching videos of stuff people have been building, and essentially, if you can get your hands on enough flat stone pieces or pieces of wood that are flat and long, you can pretty much build a bridge anywhere. And I'm a perfect example of that. So, instead of Sheikah Towers, where you just had to reach the top and scan your Sheikah slate to unlock the map of the area, you have the Skylook Towers. And what they basically are air-powered cannons that shoot Link straight up. And while he's in the air, he's able to use his Pura Pad, which is the replacement for the Sheikah slate in this game, to scan the surrounding area and thus unlocking the map while in the air. Now, I found one of these towers at the top of a small mesa. Now, if you don't know what a mesa is, in Spanish it means table. But in geography terms, a mesa is a mountain-like structure with a flat top. It's not pointed, but it's completely flat, or at least mostly flat on top. So, a small one of these with one of these towers at the top. However, there is no ramp, there's no stairs, no ladders, no convenient way to get up there. And to make matters worse, there is a spiked fence all the way around. Now, Link cannot get around these spiked fences. He can only go over them. So, there's that. So I'm like, it's completely around, surrounded by these spikes, which means even if I was to climb up the side of the mesa, I wouldn't be able to get through anyway. So I was like, okay. Start running around, see what kind of materials I can find. And sure enough, there is a set of building materials in the game, which you find in many different areas, mostly along the roadside. These building materials consist of wheels, usually in a group of 4, and flat wooden pieces that you can use to build a cart, or in my case, build a vertical wood structure that I can then climb. That'll put me not only over the mesa, but also over the spiked fence. So that's what I did. I basically took all the pieces together, using Ultra Hand, attached them to each other end to end, propped this thing up against the side, and just climbed up and over. Now I got to the top and found out that there was a Bokoblin camp, but where I climbed up was behind the camp. So they never saw me get in there. So got up the tower and unlocked the surrounding area. So this game forces you to not only use your head to solve simple puzzles with the materials available, but also rewards you for thinking outside the box. And by outside the box, I mean way outside the box. And it's great. So if you have an opportunity, you have a Switch, If you enjoyed Breath of the Wild, or even if you didn't, this game is something else. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and cut it out here. I will be back. I will not be back, actually. I am going on a little vacation starting tomorrow night. So I will not be around for Apex, Among Us VR, or World War III or Fortnite on Friday. And this is going to be for 2 weeks. I will not be here next week in its entirety, but I will be back the following week. So it'll be the last week of May. I will be back. So until then, yeah, please do not pay attention to the person with the tinfoil hat. They clearly are a bot spreading misinformation and bigoted ideas. So please do not pay attention to that. Please excuse it. Let me see if I can actually remove it. Give me one moment. Yeah, sure you are, buddy. Yeah, do not listen to these people. They are nuts. Anyway, so I will be back again in 2 weeks. Until then, please, everyone, be safe, be smart, and be excellent to each other. Take it easy.